Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're going to get the show started in just a moment. I'm going to wait till a couple people tune in. If you're tuning in, make sure that you say hi, give me some likes, give me some taps. Riley, what's up? What's going on? Give me some likes. Awesome. Let's turn off this here. Boom. Joseph's in the house. What's up, Leah? All right, let's get this thing activated here. Cool. All right, cool. Let's get started. What's up, guys? This is Jacob Wolfman. You are watching Live with Wolfman. This is a new live stream that I'm kind of experimenting with and just having some fun with it. So to make this live stream interesting, I have a couple topics that I want to talk about today, and we're just going to cut through them. So the topics I'm going to talk about today is fake news. I'm going to be talking about Facebook Watch, and I'm going to be talking about the biggest accomplishment of my professional life. And then I'm going to be answering some of your questions. So let's get started right away. In the meantime, what I want you guys to do is, if you have a question, like, just drop it in the comments. Like, it's a live feed, so it's back and forth, and the more that you guys talk, the more that this becomes interesting. Cool? So drop a question. All right. First up, fake news. I just want to go on a little rant because it's just something that really bothers me a lot. There are fake news posts on Facebook all of the time. And a lot of times people post the stuff and they don't even know that they're posting fake news. And I'm not calling out anybody, for the record. I'm just I'm just kind of venting my frustrations because I see it constantly. The thing with this whole fake news thing is that people don't take the time to investigate the things they see, and whether it's consciously or unconsciously, it enters their brain, and all of a sudden they think that what they read is real or based on reality. But that's not the case. In fact, Facebook encourages fake news. And let me explain. Because Facebook is all about your attention. All it wants to do is have your attention and grab your attention and make you pay attention. It isn't based off of whether it's disseminating truthful information. It's only trying to get dramatic information. So what happens is that people that create news articles that want to share a story or talk about a story, they don't get any traction unless there's some drama attached to it. And so they just go ahead and make stories that aren't it was based in reality, and then they twist it to a whole new level where now you're going off and you're mad about something. I recently saw a story, and I don't want to talk about what it is because then I'm calling out the person, and that's not the intention of this. But the headline said one thing, and there was some images that implied that this certain thing was going on. And unless you clicked on the article and you read, and then you went past the advertisement and you read that second half of the article, you would think conclusion one, that, in this case it was like an entire company was taking some controversial political stance, when in reality that wasn't it. It was this other smaller thing. So my point is that the news that's on Facebook that people are sharing is often not cited in reality, and it's just making people mad, and everybody just gets mad over it. So I guess what are your thoughts? What do you guys want to do you think there's anything we can do about it? And have you experienced this on your news feed? So let's check in. Let's see what people are saying. What's up, Richard Osborne? What's up, Jose? What's up, guys? Yeah, I don't like that either. I fell for the Reese discontinuation story. I don't even know what that is. But yeah, I fall for it too, and then I'll go and I'll investigate a news story, and then I'll go and read about it, and all of a sudden I just spent 20 minutes looking up something that it was fake in the first place, and then I just wasted 20 minutes of my day verifying that it was fake, and then I can go back and either try to explain to a person that this isn't real, and then get in a debate about it, or move on, and I just let fake news be fake news, right? So it's just kind of like there's no way to win. I have one solution, and I think it's a very controversial solution, and I think that if Facebook were to really care about this fake news thing, which they don't, because the more people click, the more people pay attention, regardless of what they're paying attention to, the more money they make. But if they had an incentive to do it, I would say completely disable the ability for personal profiles to share links out. So like if I read something on Fox or CNN or MSNBC or fakenews.org or whatever, I wouldn't have the ability to post it on Facebook. I think that would be a really good solution, because you don't see fake news on Instagram, right? You just see good content. You just see like nice pictures. It's not dramatic. It's just fun and engaging. I think Facebook could take a page from that and stop having the average citizen pretending that they are a journalist, because they're not. They don't take the time to, before they blurt out news that may be not true, and it does very little to them personally, and it does a great harm to society as a whole. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Amber, when I see that on my Facebook page, I have to look at it all the way to see if it's real or not. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's a big waste of time to figure out if the stuff you're reading on Facebook is real or not. And unfortunately, a lot of people get their news from Facebook, and it's the headlines and the things you click on, the clickbait, is literally designed just to get people into debates and talking more. So that's my little rant today on Facebook news. But speaking of Facebook, I'm going to switch topics now. We're going to be talking about Facebook Watch. Has anybody heard of Facebook Watch? If you have, like, drop some hearts. I want to see. Let's talk about it. Basically, what Facebook Watch is, it's a new feature. You might have noticed it. You might not have. It's on your mobile phone. And if you look here, let me log into Facebook right now so I can show it to you. So if you see right here, there is a new. I gotta do this backwards. There's a new icon, and if you go to that icon, what happens is you are taken to this page here that's just full of like content. It's basically just like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon. So Facebook is just trying really hard to like suck you in by competing with all of those services. So I think it's pretty interesting. But I mean, we'll see what happens with that, right? I'd be interested to see if they can keep our. I'm happy to stay on Facebook as long as like I'm entertained and not being angry. So if they can figure out new ways to make things more interesting and more upbeat and positive, that works for me. Cool. So if you are just tuning in, I see people are still kind of like tuning in. Say hi. Like, I see you guys. I saw Alan Davies was watching. Jake Shellcross was here. Jamie Montgomery. That's awesome. D'Angelo, dang. I haven't seen you in forever, man. How you doing? Cool. All right, so next thing I want to talk about, and the reason I want to talk about this because somebody asked me about it. John Canabe, I believe that's how you say his name. He's like an awesome board breaker. He asked yesterday. He said, "What is the most success from social media campaign that you've posted to date, and how do you measure success? What were the key components, and what was the development time to launch it?" Okay, so this is an exciting question for me because I deal with social media stuff all the time, and my answer is actually, it's interesting because how I measure success is not based off of monetary gains. Since the world I work in is a creative world where I make photos and videos, and my particular focus is on making an impact in the world. And my philosophy is that the more that I can actually make a true impact, then the money will kind of take care of itself. So I let like when I work with people on a business setting, I'll let the sales guys worry about the actual outcomes of of things a lot of times. Allows me to be more creative and make a bigger like human to human impact, which is what I'm more interested in. Which leads me to my most successful thing I've ever done, and that was actually a long time ago, and I think it was the first professional thing I ever did. It's when I created a film about martial arts tricking, and the documentary was called "It's Called Tricking," and it was the first time I had ever made a film or seriously picked up a camera. And why I call it a success is a number of reasons. Personally, it was the launching point of my career. Based off of that film, I was able to at least continue the wave and continue going. And now 7 years later, here I am, like still paying rent by promoting martial arts. And I think that's the biggest win in my life. Like I've never had a real 9 to 5 sit in an office job. I just talk about martial arts and I promote martial arts, and yet somehow my bills keep getting paid. So that's the biggest win for me personally. But then on like a larger picture, hey Tanner, what's up, dude? Amber, I'll get to your question in a minute. But on a larger picture, what I did and how I made that film is, successful, is that while I made the film, I also made a whole YouTube channel. I started a YouTube channel from scratch, and basically when I would go to a location to film a little bit about the documentary, I would film extra and put that extra stuff on the YouTube channel. So, and I didn't talk about the film with anybody other than the people that I was interviewing with. And what it was is, from a marketer's perspective, it's like content marketing 101, I guess. But I didn't really see it that way. But basically my whole vision, and it worked quite well, was build a YouTube channel. And I spent a year filming and editing this project. And so I also spent a year building the YouTube channel. So while I spent hours and hours and hours making this one video, I would also spend several more hours making all of these other videos on this YouTube channel and putting them out there for free, growing my subscribers, growing my interactions, just trying to build the community of people that actually were going to care about the film. And then when it was launch time, when I was ready to reveal the world what I had this built-in audience. I had all of these people that were super engaged and super, like, they're the prime people I want to see the film. So then I launched the trailer, and I remember to this day the feeling, like back then, the Facebook algorithm worked differently, and if you posted something from YouTube, like it was shared easily because they didn't have Facebook videos back then. And I just remember like the whole tricking community, people that argued with each other, that disagreed with each other, like just everybody under the sun. They all came together and they all shared this video, and it was just the trailer of the video, and I was just so pumped. And then I also did something also a little sneaky, which worked really well to my advantage. I had a concept for the trailer, and suddenly I decided to change the music in the last second, because right around that time, Kanye West dropped a new album, and Dark Twisted Fantasy, I believe it was. And one of the songs was All of the Lights, and I'm sure you guys have heard the song. And when I heard that song, I was like, when a song's going to be a hit. And I heard that song, I was like, that's going to be a hit. The album had just been out, and this song wasn't on the radio or anything. And I heard it, and I was like, that's going to be impactful. And I predict that song is going to be playing nonstop on the radio right about the time when I'm ready to actually launch my film. So it's kind of illegal that I did this, but I took the song, because back then they weren't so gung-ho about copyright on the internet. And I went with it, and I used that song as the trailer. So what happened, and this was like this psychological thing that I thought was awesome. Just as I predicted, right when the film was about to come out, that song was playing all the time. Like, you heard it on the radio, everywhere. So people would, like, all the people that were interested in my film, they got like a reminder of my film, like subconsciously, because they would hear that song, they'd think of my film. They'd hear that song, they'd think of my film. And it worked like a charm. And even years after, when I'm in a room with somebody that, like, somebody that watched that trailer back in the day, and that song comes on and we're in the same room, they look at me because they think of that Kanye West song with my trailer. And I'm just really proud of making that film because it meant a lot to a lot of people, and it made a really big impact, and it formed like it really helped form the identity of martial arts tricking. Prior to making the reason I made the film and I titled it "It's Called Tricking" because at the time, tricking wasn't necessarily its own hardcore identity. It was a subset of martial arts. It was martial artists who practiced tricks. And then I made a film that showed that no, it's actually its own community of people. A lot of them aren't even martial artists. They just practice tricking, and they're trickers. And I mean, I'm not going to take full credit. That's ridiculous for me to take full credit for forming tricking. That's not my point. But I am saying that I helped create a narrative, and I helped contextualize the story in a way that people could, have an identity around. And so that was my biggest success. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, and I thought this question by John was just a good way for me to talk about it. So anyhow, next I want to talk about another question here that's not so just a little different because this is another question people had. So I'm gonna switch gears here. This is by Anna Laura Rowland. Wants to know which kind of video content attracts people the most. So this actually kind of ties back into what I had to say earlier about the fake news. And unfortunately on Facebook, people, it's a good and a bad. It's a double-edged sword. It's people are attracted to emotions. And the easiest motion to strike out of people is anger and enragement. It's really, it doesn't take much effort to upset people. So the videos that go viral are the videos that cause outrage. I don't like that game. I don't want to play that game. I try really hard not to play that game. And but it's true. So if you want to get people to watch your videos, you need to strike an emotion with them. And hopefully you can figure out something that doesn't involve a lot of controversy. Yesterday, I made a comment about how if you want to have a good post, you think of an emoji and then you write your text based around that emoji. Well, think of that with video too. Like think of an emoji like the smiley face or the face with the tears coming out because they're laughing so hard. And then make a video that represents that, right? Make a video that's funny. Make a video that's happy. Make a video that when you watch it, like something like there's something inside you that kind of like gives you a feeling of like, yeah, like you resonate with it. Like when you know you created a good video, it's when you like you feel it, and you know that the second you put it out on the internet, other people are gonna feel it, and that's what's gonna get you the most views and stuff. So if you guys have any more questions, want to talk about anything, like it's a live chat, it's a back and forth. So let's totally just jump in. What's up, Franks? See you guys are tuning in. Jimmy's tuning in. Guillermo. Awesome. Okay, so Amber earlier asked, question for you. I hear that you did a commercial for Tiger Rock and Camp Hill. I take Taekwondo there. That's not a question, but awesome. Yeah, I did do a video commercial for Tiger Rock in Camp Hill. I've done a few of these video commercials at different schools, and they're awesome. Like the cool thing about making a video commercial at a martial arts school is that everyone that's involved is very respectful and orderly and like focused because they're martial artists. It's like the easiest group of people to work with. So when you roll in and you only have a set amount of time to get the exact amount of shots you need, you have like a little crew of like soldiers there to make it happen. It's awesome. Like whenever you see these video commercials I make, it's not me just watching a class. Like every shot is completely set up in a way to get the right angle. It's like we'll send in the little kids class, and like we'll spend 30 seconds on this drill, 30 seconds on this drill, 30 seconds on this drill, boom, 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 get the shots, get the angles. The next class, kids class, come in, look at this shot, and it's just like when you do that, then you have all of these different shots, all of these different looks, and you can build a way more dynamic and interesting video out of it. And it's only possible because the people at the school work with you, and they work hard, and they love their school, and they love, they want to promote it just as much as the instructor does. So it's just a cool experience. And yeah, Tiger Rock was awesome. I was glad you guys had me out there. Cool. It's okay, Amber. No worries. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to hit me up. I think I have one more question that someone previously asked, so we're going to switch over to that. And feel free to drop another question in the comments if you want. Mark, what's up? Rebecca, how you doing? Ringo's Club. Ray Parker, the second, is in the house. What's up, Ray? All right, so next question is, what is the new trend regarding Facebook page like contests, etc., to promote my Facebook page? Well, there is definitely been contests on Facebook since as long as I've been on Facebook. It's not really a new concept. So unless there's like a new thing that I am just not familiar with that you're specifically referring to. But in general, contests have pros and cons. The pro is that it's a great form of engagement. Any chance for people to think like, hey, I can get something free, like they're going to engage with you. They're going to like and comment and do whatever they need to do. So that's cool. The con is then you're constantly just giving away free stuff, and then you're going to attract a crowd of people that are just a bunch of like freeloaders. You're just attracting people that only want stuff for free, and they're not really interested in what you actually have to offer. So you have to be careful about the contests like that. But anything to really increase engagement and get people talking and like get people to like build a community around what you're all about, then awesome, go for it. As long as it's within your budget and you're not overextending yourself and you can deliver what you promise, that works. Awesome. Well, if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to drop them in. Again, this is just a new like live stream test thing I'm experimenting with. Jeremy Epstein, the music kid, is in the house. What's up, man? How are you doing? Epstein, are you here still? It'd be awesome if you were. Jeremy, the music kid, if you guys don't know him, he is one of those old school guys who's not really old. He's like the same age as me, and I mean, I guess I'm old now. I don't know, but he's been involved. By the way, this is my co-host, Castiel. He likes to butt in sometimes. Give me some hearts for the cat. Whoop whoop. Jeremy the Music Kid's awesome. He's been like a big promoter of martial arts and like filming it, creating music, and he used to like catalog every form, and you want to know what music somebody used in a form, like he had a website all about it. And now he's out and he's married and he owns a school and like he's living the dream. So that's awesome. Cool. Well, I'm not seeing anybody dropping any questions here, but I think this thing is kind of fun. I'm still experimenting with it, so I appreciate you guys watching, tuning in. I'm going to keep playing around with this and hopefully grow this into something really cool, so something that we can all kind of get our heads around and have fun and talk about martial arts, talk about current events, basically whatever I want. I just want this to be like a channel that's interesting to watch. Like, it's my goal. I think it's fun just to tune in a little bit every day and do this. So with that, I got to figure out like some sort of solid outro. For now, I am out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I get to do this again really soon.